Welcome to Fanatics Live, where we virtually connect you to your favorite athletes right at home. Tonight, we will be meeting with fans, signing autographs, and engaging in live Q&A. Now, let's welcome our host.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, MC the MC. I'm excited to be back. We had a show last night. We have another show tonight, and we will be speaking with Hall of Famer, former Cincinnati Red, and some could argue the greatest catcher of all time, Johnny Bench. For our viewers at home, show some love for Johnny in the comments, or maybe share your favorite memory watching him play for a chance for that comment to get featured on the screen. But without further ado, let's jump right into it and bring on Johnny, the little general Bench.
Oh, have you been doing your homework? Thank you so much, MC. The MC.
I have been doing my research, but I wanted to know, where did the little general come from?
When I got called up to the Reds from Buffalo, and I was so much regimented as to being on time and that everybody's supposed to be on the field and they're supposed to be doing their job. I mean, that's what that was our job. And so I'd get out and I'd say, everybody on the field, or I would say something like, let's go over here. No, let's do this. And one of the pitchers said, guys, he acts like a little general. So I had others as well, but because of my big head and all the stuff that went along with that, they have a lot of little things. I was the Binger Banger, I think, that Look magazine or something, or Life magazine. So Baryshnikov and shin guards was one I was so proud of. Woo! Baryshnikov and shin guards.
Yeah, I did a little research on some of your nicknames. Baseball players, they all have nicknames. It's rare that you get called by your real name on the field. But I also heard you had a way with demanding a presence with the umpires, and so they had that general respect from you. So that you're standing there with the ump the whole time, playing catcher. So you gotta demand a little bit of presence with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's where most of my hair went, actually. I was the one that started wearing the helmet in baseball. Yeah, nobody ever wore a helmet, but I had a bad temper. I had a temper when I was I didn't think I was supposed to make an out. So in the minor leagues, and I would take my helmet off and I'd make an out and I'd throw it down, and it was a concrete floor, and I'd crack it, and then I had to buy a new helmet, $35. And I cracked it 3 times. Now I've lost 105, and I'm only making $550 a month. So I thought, that's stupid. And then I saw a guy that had been hit, and he was wearing his helmet. He had a concussion or something, and he was wearing his helmet. And I thought, because my mask was so loose anyway. Mm-hmm. And I thought, let me just turn this around. And I took the balls and I'd hit the mask, and I got no impact. I felt, so good. And then because before that I wore my soft hat, and they wanted you to bend so low for the front, right? And then all those foul balls just took all the air. We kind of made a runway.
Yep, they just took it all off.
What about here?
We're really excited to have you on. I love getting to talk to the retired players and hearing like life post professional leagues. But I'm a youngster. I didn't grow up watching you play, but we have some people on the line.
But you asked your grandfather about me, and I'm sure he was able to tell you.
Yes, but we do have some people on the line that look up to you. You're their baseball heroes. So we are going to kick things off with some live meet and greets. We have 5 guests on the line. Dennis is up first, and he told me he would name his autobiography No Regrets. He is calling in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the first thing he's going to order at a concession stand when he gets back will be at Fenway. He is a Sox fan, I'm not going to lie. And he's going to get a sausage, pepper, and onion sandwich. So let's bring on Dennis.
Johnny, how are you?
Oh, couldn't be better, Dennis. Thank you very much.
This to me is meeting my boyhood hero. Even though I'm a Sox fan, I got to say, playing Little League ball, I always wanted to be Johnny Bench.
Oh, man, that's so nice. Thank you very much. I hope your knees are all right. I hate when guys aren't catching and then they hurt their knees and they say, oh, that's Johnny. I want to be like Johnny.
Yeah, well, no, I used to. Yeah, it's been a long time. There's a lot of other parts of my body that are aching at this point. So,
well, the warranty runs out, Dennis. I mean, you got to face it. The warranty runs out on the parts sooner or later. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But, you know what, Johnny? We still look good though, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do. I turned 72 the other day, and I asked this lady. I said, "Do I look 73?" She said, "No, but you used to." So,
like Joe Piscopo said, it's better to look good than to feel good, right?
That's right. That's right. You got a question? Or we just
I do actually. I it's kind of a question and a little bit of a funny. So being a Sox fan, back in '75, that World Series kept us on the edge of our seat. And I had two of my favorite catchers played in that game. I had you and of course Carlton Fisk. And I just want to know from your perspective, sitting behind home plate in that Game 6, what it felt like when Carlton hit that ball and pushed it over the wall.
Well, I mean, we lost the World Series, Dennis. We lost in 70 and 72. If we lose this series, we're going to win. And Rich Carbo was the guy who hit the 3-run homer for Ollie Eastwick. I mean, that was what was so depressing and everything else. Pat Darcy had pitched a great 11th inning, but he went out to warm up in the 12th, and he barely got it to me. And we didn't have anybody left. I looked over at the dugout, and I told Sparky, I said, we got no chance. So, Carl's one of my favorite people, first of all, and he's one of my all-time favorite catchers. He's on my list, right? 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So, for Sox fans, I know how hard it was for you guys. I mean, because you had lost so many times and been your heart had been broken and everything else. But for us, if we don't win, we're the Buffalo Bills. We had lost all the World Series, and imagine having to play again in a 7th game. And of course, no one can ever know how that's going to turn out. But that was the greatest moment in my career was after Game 7.
Yeah, I can imagine. Remember it well. And then of course you went on to the '76 World Series too. So yeah.
The Sox didn't mind us so much after that.
Yeah, exactly. The retribution came on the '76 World Series. So.
I can't see your uniform there in the back. What do you got there?
Oh, that's that. I'm a Patriots fan, obviously. So that's the running back.
I am I've been a huge fan of Tom Brady and that's really the only one I watch, really.
I got my Sony Michel because he went to school down here in Fort Lauderdale, and then above him is Jackie Bradley Jr. making a catch up in Fenway. So. Oh my gosh,
man, is he amazing? Well, Dennis, I tell you, we got something here for you.
Yes.
In the way of parting gifts, Dennis, as a contestant.
I like parting gifts.
We have a brand new Cincinnati. Oh, you already got it here. I'm going to sign it here. And you're going to see it live and in color. And you're going to be able to read this baby. Because I started working out in the 5th grade. I started, I made a C in penmanship, and I'd never made anything but A's. So I thought everybody's going to read my autograph like John Hancock 100 years from now. Golly, he gets everything. He gets World Series MVP and Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There we are. MC is taking care of you.
Yeah, thank you, MC. See, that's what that.
I'm here for you.
Frequent flyer miles, I guess. Right?
I'm here for you, Dennis. That looks incredible, Johnny.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you, Johnny. That's great. That's finding a great spot right next to my Big Red Machine signed bat that I have.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and good luck with everything. Thank you so much, Johnny. You look great.
Well, first one under your belt, Johnny. Are you ready to get rolling here? We got a lot of.
I'm ready. This is good.
Yeah, this is fun, right?
And all this memorabilia in the background. I love that.
I know. So Brett is up next. He's actually calling in from LA, and he says it's actually pretty hard to be a Reds fan in LA, but he's been a Reds fan for almost 50 years, and I like his first concession stand order. It's a classic. He's going with a beer and a hot dog. So let's bring on Brett.
Perfect.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, really great to talk to you. I've been a big fan of yours and the Reds, my whole life. I think if a 54-year-old me could go back in time and tell 10-year-old me that he'd be having this conversation with you one day,
oh, man, I like your hat. You got everything going. You know who was a great Reds fan was Jonathan Winters, the comedian, and he played in Mork and Mindy, and he would wear that Reds jacket to the game. And those fans would give him so much trouble. But we had some good fans, and it's always amazing, Brett, that people would always say, I was a Giant fan, I was a Dodger fan, but we really respected you guys for the way you played. So, it was pretty cool to be part of the Big Red Machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's a question I wanted to ask you. You obviously played with a lot of really great Hall of Fame players with the Reds. But who was the best all-around player you actually played against in your career?
I see you said against. That's good, because I would have told you Joe Morgan.
Yep. I know you
know that. I think you know that. I sure lost a great one. But, the thing is, Willie was the man. I had – and he was so nice to me. 1968, I made the All-Star team as a backup catcher, and we're in the locker room in the Astrodome. And Willie walks across. He's sitting directly across from me in the locker in the room, and he walks over to me and said, "You should have been the starting catcher." And it just made my life. But the thing was, when you think about Hank Aaron, Hank had, if you take away his 755 home runs, he still had 3,000 hits, and the RBI is 2,100 and something. I mean, or 2,200, and just amazing, and the nicest man you'll ever meet. But, for Willie, I think it was his flair, his excitement that he created, the way he approached it every day. I think I'd probably give the edge to him.
Oh, awesome. Well, I had a chance to see you play just a lot of times out here at Dodger Stadium, especially in 1983. I'd been tracking you for years as a little kid, and I finally caught you along the railing on the first base line and got this ball signed. So I'm looking forward to getting another one from you.
Oh, well, we've got it coming right now. I'm going to set it for you, and then we're going to put, catch you later. Well,
yeah, I liked that inscription, Brett. That was creative. Catch you later.
Well, yeah, I can't take full credit. Johnny will tell you where that came from.
What's that?
So I can't take full credit for that title, I know.
Yeah.
What's the backstory there?
That was the title of his book he wrote.
Oh, gotcha. Well, great. That looks awesome, Johnny. And thank you, Brett, for joining us.
Thank you. Well,
Brett. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Great. We got some representation all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah.
We have Branson up next, and he first met you in 1969 at Al Lang Field and got an autograph from you. But he's back again today from Clearwater, Florida. Let's bring on Branson.
Wow, almost 52 years ago, Branson. 52 years ago, man.
That's a long time. And it's good to meet you, Johnny. And I just want to tell you that I have just long respected you. And, it's really hard to find good role models anymore these days. But I want to tell you something. You have been a great role model to me when I was growing up. I was a catcher in Little League. I was a catcher down through the baseball career that I had. And I love to just emulate you. And I really appreciate you and the Big Red Machine. And it's been a great Reds fan down through the years.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you've got a little trophy case there behind you. I'm trying to see, is that Don Williams? Who is that singer back there?
That is Don Williams, yes.
Oh, really?
I met Don Williams. He personally autographed that for me several years ago.
I'm just a lonely.
Inside my office here, I have a Rose jersey, your jersey and bat. I have Morgan. I have Perez. In my case here, I've got Concepcion. I've got the Great Eight. I've got all of you, and a catcher's mitt that you autographed for me. So I really
you got a catcher's mitt. Yay, good for me. Good for you.
Yes, I do. I have a quick question for you. Who was the toughest pitcher that you ever faced in your career?
Well, obviously you go Gibson, Seaver, and all those guys and everything else. But J.R. Richard was when he pitched for the Astros, he threw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 92-mile-an-hour slider, and he didn't have great control. So made you a little. You never dug in too much there. But two guys I had a lot of trouble with was Bill Singer and Rick Russell.
Wow.
And I don't know, you played, so there's sometimes it's just very difficult to pick up spin and rotation from their delivery. And for whatever reason, they both seemed to throw right out of their shoulder. And I couldn't even guess right. I mean, I would try to guess slider and I'd get a fastball, but those were probably, and a guy named Steve Rogers, doesn't make the big hit list, but I'm telling you, and it was the other day that Mike Schmidt and I were we were talking at lunch or something with some people, and both of us came up with Steve Rogers.
Wow.
I mean, when he was at Montreal, boy, he had some good stuff.
Wow.
But, on a given day, of course, you had the Seavers, you had the Gibsons, you had the Marichals, and guys that would do that. But and Phil Negro, of course, that knuckleball was always
tough to hit.
Yeah.
And who would you say was the hardest person to throw out real quickly?
Probably Davy Lopes.
Davy Lopes, awesome.
Yeah, Davy he had great acceleration. He had great jump. He had a lot of different things that made him so great. But I'm so
Johnny, you were quick to answer that one. It sounds like you've maybe lost a couple nights of sleep over trying to get that guy out.
Well, it's interesting. You got the Brocks, you got the guys, the Marinos, and all the guys that did it, and back in those days. But for whatever reason, he came along, and there was something about his technique that really made him tough all the time, and he really did it. Lou would just take off. I threw Lou out 3 times in one game, and he came up the 4th time, and he said, "If I get on, I'm going again." And
well, thank you so much, Johnny. It's been a great pleasure to be able to talk with you. God bless you and your family, sir.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, Branson, and I hope that COVID gets by you and everything soon, but gets back to normal.
Thank you, sir. Been a pleasure.
Thank you, Branson.
Thank you.
Don,
that's awesome. He started his autograph collection from you a long, long time ago. He's still adding to it.
Can you imagine that?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Up next is Tyler, and as part of our Fanatics initiative, so our company motto is by fans for fans. So sure, we work here, but we're also fans of sports. So we like to feature some of our super fans that work for Fanatics. So Tyler is up next, and his favorite part about the atmosphere of baseball is just that simple sound of the ball coming off the bat. Let's bring on Tyler.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Tyler. Man, you are situated there. You got the
right. Yeah, I give you a little spin.
Oh man,
the jersey on, man.
We got, and you probably dotted the I somewhere too.
Yeah. Huge.
Hey, I see a Raider back there too. Is that a Raider helmet?
Yeah, it's a Raiders helmet. Got Allen Iverson in the corner.
Oh, you are widespread. That's great. Right. You are a big fan, Tyler.
Yeah, huge dream of mine. I'm a little younger, but I didn't get to watch you play in your time. But just the stories of you and the Big Red Machine from my dad. When I found out I had this opportunity, he was the first person I texted. He was just so elated to hear that. So he's so excited about it.
Oh man, that is really cool. We had a young man that worked here, and we were signing some stuff today, and he said my dad is he would even fly down here, and I said, well, let's FaceTime him. So here we are with you, Tyler, and you'll hopefully get a recording of this, and we can say hello to your dad. What's his name?
Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hey, you got a good-looking son here, man. He's got my hairstyle.
I'm getting there. John, my question for you is, what do you think the biggest difference between catchers today, and then the catchers of your era?
Nothing, Tyler. Really, the catchers are just as good, maybe even better today. I mean, they got all the technique. They got unbelievable arms. But the thing you have to remember, there's only like 14, 15 catchers in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And why are you in the Hall of Fame? Because you hit. These guys defensively are unbelievable. But you've got to lead the league in home runs or RBIs. And if you're not batting in the middle of the lineup, people don't really give you a lot of consideration. I mean, you think back in my day, there was Manny Sanguillen, there was Steve Yeager, there was so many great catchers. Mm-hmm. And if you go through the teams now, you can see them. We've had some great ones, but to be able to hold up and last and your legs, last with you, but you've got to put a lot of offensive numbers on the board. These guys are tremendous athletes. They've got all the techniques. They block the ball so much better than we probably all did, and they're in better shape than we were. Back in my day, Tyler, a 13 or 14 body fat was pretty good. 7 or 5, and you look like you're probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, that was a great question. Let's get that canvas signed for you. My dad was giving me some tips for today's show, and he's like, you got to ask Johnny how the equipment is different than what he had versus what the new catchers have. They're all padded out, and they can lean back on their on their legs, and they're well taken care of. But that wasn't quite the situation back when you played.
Well, the toughest thing, and the one thing that I missed the most, we even tried to put steel toes. I wore steel toe spikes at one time just to get the foul ball because I have six broken bones in each foot. But but we didn't have the pad over our shoulder. And 3 years ago, maybe it was 4, they took out 30 chips out of my shoulder from all of the foul balls.
Oh my God.
One was the size of a quarter and twice as thick, and they had to reattach my bicep. They had to do it because the cartilage had just cut the bicep and cut the muscles around. So yeah, I mean, hey, it's not for sissies, all right? You know that, Tyler. It's not for
Well, love it, Tyler. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Johnny.
it, Tyler. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, we're going to bring some girl power onto the phone call. I always like getting a fellow lady on here.
Did you?
Yeah, I just flex. Yeah, don't be alarmed. These are registered. We're going to bring on Darcy. She's another Fanatics employee. She's calling in from Frazeysburg, Ohio, and she's going to close out our meet and greets today. So let's bring on Darcy.
All right.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Darcy. Darcy T.
Darcy T. Yeah, I'll flex with you, MC.
You can do that. What the jersey?
Yeah, it's a Griffey. So.
Hey, that's pretty good. I remember that kid. I remember seeing him in the swimming pool diving at his mom and dad's house when he was about 12 or 13 years old. And I mean, there wasn't anything he couldn't do. And a football player deluxe, and he could have done anything he wanted to. An amazing kid.
That's awesome. Hey, it's really an honor to be able to speak to you today. My whole family are fans of. That's actually the only thing that we agree on is baseball when it comes to our team. So, and they're huge Johnny Bench fans. So, my question is, what current Cincinnati Reds player are you most excited to watch this upcoming season?
Wow. Wow. Now there's a pretty good question. You know, I don't know if Tyler Stevenson, what his situation is. He's the young catcher, you know, and you know, to Barnett, who just won his second Gold Glove, which is incredible. I want to continually congratulate him. But, you know, Tyler was the #1 draft choice about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And this is a kid that, you know, and it, you know, the transition's there, and they've been platooning catchers as it is, but they may want to do that, and I think it's a great opportunity for him. And we've got some young pitchers that are hopefully in their breakout mode. They pitched well last year, and I'm glad you got there at the end at least to make the playoffs. But I think that's the one thing that I would probably think if he's going to make the ball club and if he can make a difference.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's get that canvas started for you, Darcy. So I hope that you love this piece. Looks like your office needs a little pizzazz. We're going to add to it.
I know. So Tyler's right across the hall from me, and I'm like, oh, man.
I know. He's went full out, but we're going to add to your collection. Don't worry.
I need some help.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Darcy.
I wanted to let you know it's 72 degrees down here.
Oh, is it? That's nice.
What is it there?
I know it was in the 30s today. I'll have to look, but I brought my winter coat and I wore my long sleeve under my jersey. So
Well, that was awesome.
That's great. Thank you.
And of course, it's got Fanatics on the back.
Thanks, Darcy.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Darcy. Enjoyed it.
Okay, Johnny. Wow, you are just such a people's person. I love it. I love having you on the show today. You're making my job easier.
Well, they're fun. I mean, and they're fans. You know, that's the great thing about it. They've been fans of everything else. And we don't get to meet them.
Before we keep going with the questions, I do want to spotlight our featured artists for tonight. Those pieces that you signed were actually by our resident artist, Charlie Toronto. So he is known for his stroke patterns and his use of color to bring about these cool team logos. Yeah, these paintings that you were autographing today were by Charlie. So let's roll a short video that showed how this piece came about.
Hey, that was nice, Charlie. And I didn't even see any numbers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
Charlie, he's not painted by numbers over here. Charlie's very good, very talented. So if you're interested in his pieces, you can find them on Fanatics.com, or you can go to his website, charlietoronto3.com. All right, we have some other people on social media. We put the question out there for the people of the world to ask Johnny Bench a question. So are you ready to answer the people from Instagram?
Sure.
Okay. Up first, we have Jonathan from New Jersey.
Hi, Johnny. I'm Jonathan. I'm 16 years old. My question is, was there a catcher that you as a veteran player took under your wing? Thanks, Johnny.
We have another Johnny.
Well, Bill Plummer was there for so long. Pat Corrales was there when I first got there, and he was really a motivator. We'd take infield, and he would say, come on, Johnny, come on, throw it down a second. Everybody came to watch you. And he would motivate me every day in infield, because in those days, everybody took infield. And, we had Alex Trevino, and then Dan Billardello, who's a good friend of mine still. He took over, and, all of these guys, and you can't teach them a whole lot. You try to talk to them about certain techniques that you do, and making sure that your feet, you watch catchers' feet. You want to see how fast their legs are underneath them and how well they transfer, getting the ball out of the glove. And you got to practice that until ad nauseum. I mean, you've got to have that transfer down if you're going to be successful.
Good. I'm sure, Jonathan, if you're watching, hello. Thanks for the awesome question. Up next is Jake from Floyd Knobs, Indiana.
Hi, Mr. Bench. This is Jake Zerschmied from Floyd Knobs, Indiana. My question today is, during Game 3 of the NLCS in 1973 between the Reds and Mets, when the brawl happened between Pete Rose and Bud Harrelson, did Pedro Borbon really take a literal bite of the Mets cap that he found on the ground? Thanks, and go Reds.
There was a piece out of the hat where he just chomped it. He had one of those teeth, because he was great to have around you, because, a lot of times you'd have something, a pop, let's say, or something that needed you open. So he'd just take it, he'd get the and just open the bottle for you. So he was really handy at so many things. Unbelievable. Yeah, I jumped in the middle of that fray and grabbed Pete just about underneath the arms and yanked him completely out of there, because it was getting out of hand. It was sad to see. That's the way those Mets were, in those days. They were rabid.
I don't know how you
just excited.
Rah.
Yeah, he did that in LA too. He did that another time when we had a brawl.
Oh gosh, it's like his party trick.
Well, you think about it. I mean, how to best get at another team? Take a bite out of their hat. I mean, that's the way. You imagine that would have been a souvenir. I'm surprised.
For sure, that piece. Yeah. Okay, and we have Blake from Amory, Mississippi. So let's see what he wants to ask you.
Hello, I'm Blake Elkin. I am from Amory, Mississippi. Mr. Bench, what is your favorite all-time memory as being a member of the Cincinnati Reds? Hope you have a great day.
That's pretty easy. We were just talking to a Red Sox fan earlier, but when I went into the locker room after Game 7, we were world champions. All 25 players were world champions. All trainers, coaches, managers, sponsors. And the joy, it didn't matter if you had 50 home runs or 3 home runs. It didn't matter. You were a world champion. And the joy I will still to this day, Merv Redmond, Terry Crowley, Bill Plummer, everybody on that team. And the coaches, I mean, you had George Sugar, you had Alex Grammas, you had Larry Shepard, you had Ted Kluszewski. It was just so emotional and so wonderful, and you realize what winning on a team means.
Yeah, when it's a team effort, exactly. Everybody gets to revel in that moment. I have no idea what that feels like, but I'm sure it is indescribable.
It is. It really is, Casey.
Okay. No, you're fine. I get called a mixture of names. Anything's fair game. That is it for social media, but you are not off the hook yet. Before we jump into the rapid fire, we're going to roll a short clip from our sponsor.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
So you can shop on Fanatics by player, team, and league. It is your one-stop shop for officially licensed fan gear. Okay, Johnny, things have been really amicable up until this point, but I'm about to put you into the hot seat. Are you ready?
MC, forget about it.
Okay, we're good.
I got this.
So first thing that pops in your head, we're going to go back and forth. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bubblegum or sunflower seeds?
Bubblegum.
Favorite golf course to play?
Pine Valley.
Where's that?
Hey, you're the host. You're supposed to know this, MC.
I'm not a golfer.
Oh, it's in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Favorite sport to watch that's not baseball?
Golf.
Well, back to golf. Okay, fill in the blank. Wheaties, breakfast of
Johnny.
champions.
Well, I know that, but I was on the box.
Yeah, you were the first baseball player on a Wheaties box.
Well, why would I think anything else? Yeah. Of course, it's breakfast of champions, and they're not great. They're wonderful.
Love it. Favorite genre of music currently?
Country.
Love it. What was harder? What was harder, hitting or catching?
No hitting. Round ball, round bat, and you got to hit it square.
Yeah. Great American Ballpark or Riverfront Stadium?
Crossley Field.
We're going to go neutral.
I didn't do Great American. I didn't play that. I wish I had played that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Least favorite chore around the house?
Vacuuming. I was thinking about making a comeback, but I pulled a muscle vacuuming, and so I've been set back for a while.
Yep. Wait, we're on the injured list, so we got to just take a break on that one. Okay, and I like to always end it with just a little bit of a controversial question if you're prepared.
Why do you grin when you say that? Atheist.
Yeah, I get some joy from it. Okay, who was the team that you personally had the most passion about beating every single year?
Dodgers. I mean, that's not
Dodgers. The Dodgers.
The Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers, the bums from Brooklyn. They went out to L.A. What are you going to do? You're going to go to Wally Moon. You got the Moon Deck out in Coliseum. You got all this stuff and they had to. But you know why? Because we had to beat them. If we beat them, we're probably very successful.
Do you think a lot of other players would also say the Dodgers?
Sure.
Yeah.
And still today, nobody likes the Dodgers.
Well, you heard it here first, everybody. We're going to beat the Dodgers.
I love them this year. They got some wonderful young players.
They're really fun to watch.
I like them. Yeah.
Well, Johnny, I'm so glad we got to have you today. This was super fun. Thanks for taking some time out of your signing and your day to meet some fans and talk with Fanatics.
That was great. It really was. That was fun. Let's do it again.
Hey, let's sign it up right now, everybody.
Better questions, though. You got to come up with better questions. Come on.
Okay, I got you.
I'll write a couple for you.
Okay, next time I'm not going to take it easy. Thank you, Johnny. Stay safe. All right, everybody, that is all the time that we have. Thank you so much for tuning in. Exactly a week from today, we will have Ozzie Smith, St. Louis Cardinals legend, joining us. And then just a couple of days later, another big name in Cincinnati, Mr. Joe Burrow, on the 28th. So for more information, if you want to watch our past shows or learn more on how to get involved, you can visit fanatics.com/live. So thank you so much for tuning in. We're happy to bring these stars and these athletes to you right at home. And as always, stay safe and good night.